Hi, and welcome back to Watch It Wednesday in the Rubber Room. My name is Chris Colley, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'm going to share with you the sponging technique that I used on this little oval piece of cardstock here. Sponging is one of my favorite techniques to use, and I do use it a lot just on the edges and to add depth to any project that I'm working on. One of the important things to remember when you're sponging is that you want to use a very smooth piece of cardstock. So today I'm going to be using some Whisper White cardstock. It is Stampin' Up! Cardstock, and because it has a smooth surface, it will allow me to get a nice, even, smooth look to my sponging. So I'm going to start off with a oval that I've already pre-stamped. I did pre-stamp this in Regal Rose with my Scenic Season stamp set. And what I'm going to do is just to put a little bit of dado on the back of it. Dado is a removable temporary adhesive, so I'll be able to pull it right back off when I'm done. I just am putting it on there so that it will stay in one place and I won't be chasing it all over while I'm doing this video. I have taken my 1-inch circle punch and just punched out a circle from a little post-it note. So it is sticky on the back. I'm just going to place that where I don't want any of the sponging to be. So that's going to allow that area there to stay white, so it will have kind of like a moon effect in the background of it. And then I'm simply going to take my Regal Rose ink and a sponge. I am using some Stampin' Up! Sponges. And what I've done is they come in a 3-pack. I've cut one sponge into 4 pieces. And I do put a little label at the top of mine. And it does say Regal Rose on it. And I did use my label punch for it. It's a tab punch. And I punched out a piece of Regal Rose cardstock and attached it to my sponge. I do a lot of classes and workshops, so this helps me to keep my sponges separate and to have one for each color to share with my guests. What I do is I whether out of habit or necessity, I'm not sure, but I just tap 3 times onto my ink pad and then start at the edges where I want my ink to be the darkest. And just lightly tap onto my Whisper White piece of cardstock. And I usually will get about 3 taps on my cardstock to 3 taps on my ink pad. And I'm just going to cover this entire piece with Regal Rose ink. And once I've done that, you can see, I'll lift it up here so that you can see it has kind of the same texture look as my sponge with the little holy kind of splotches in it, and those are very technical terms, I'm sure, but I want mine to be very smooth and soft looking. So what I'm going to do is just take my sponge and rub it in a sideways kind of motion on there, and that will blend my ink right in with my paper, and we'll get rid of that spongy, splotchy kind of look to it, and we'll just give it a soft, smooth texture to it. And I'm just going to blend it around in there. Oh, my adhesive got away from me there. So there you can see it's much smoother and softer looking now. It looks even almost flat, as if it were stamped perhaps on a piece of Blush Blossom or Pretty in Pink cardstock. And then I'm just going to remove my little post-it note. Apparently I have 2 post-its on there. And you can see that it's then white in the background. Now I am also going to share with you a little technique now on sponging the edges of your cardstock. And I do the same thing. I have some blank ovals here so you can really see the difference. I'm just going to tap it on there. I'm going to hold my sponge at a 90-degree angle or straight up and down, and just run it across the edges of my cardstock. And there you can see I have just a very faint, thin line around the top edge there of color. And you can take it and hold your sponge at a 45-degree angle and kind of push up. And that's going to give me a lot more color. If I'm holding it 1/4 of an inch onto my paper, I'm going to get that much more color onto my paper. But for today's card, I just want to use just a small amount to kind of smooth out the color and add a little bit more definition around the edges. So I'm just going to sponge lightly onto the whole part, the whole oval at the edge there. And that's just going to give me a little more definition to it when I go to place it on my card. And there you have it, a nicely sponged, and this little circle part was masked with a Post-it note, and that's why I didn't get any sponging to it. So hopefully that will help you, and again, here's the card that I used it on. Hopefully that will help you out with some of your sponging techniques in the future. Sponging is a lot of fun, and it's a quick, easy way to add texture and depth to any project. I hope you enjoyed your time in the rubber room today, and I hope that you'll be back next week to see what I have in store. Thanks, and have a happy week. Bye.